Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Sleepy Sunday stream, where I'm going to apologise slightly for my hoarse voice, but we're going to do the best we can today. And this is going to be a slightly different one. Normally I play games on these Sleepy Sunday streams, often puzzle games or building games, but today I'm going to do a bit of a coding development stream on something that I've not played with for a while. It might be easier if I open it up and get it going, so you can sort of see roughly the idea of this. This is kind of slightly based on the idea of something called the Noodler, the NDLR, which is like this synth MIDI sequencer, I guess. It doesn't make any noises by itself, but it uses the concepts of kind of chords and scales and a lot of things I'm only vaguely familiar with in order to basically send out notes to other devices that can make nice noises. And I started a while back trying to play with this and figure out a way I could do it myself with a software synth that I've used in my other game, CRT7, which incidentally, if you're watching this before the 30th of May, it's currently in the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. There's a new demo. You should go check it out. It's really cool. I put a lot of accessibility features in. But yes, so the idea was I wanted to make something that could kind of make procedurally generated melodies you could interact with and play with, so I could get a better sense of some of this music stuff. And it kind of starts with this core screen here. We have like a piano roll, and you can play stuff on here. The horrible initial synth that will change in a second. But also you can play stuff on here. So if you know anything about music, you have different kind of scales. We have majors and a few minors, oriental and blues scales. We will mainly be playing with major and minors. And then these are, I think they're called modes, but based on this. So like what you can do is if you have major and triad and I press here, this will play a major chord. You can see off the piano there. And these are the different sort of chords in the major scale, I think. And what I've done is invert them so they stay in the same octave. There's going to be a lot of language I'm going to use incorrectly and might not make sense, so I apologise. But the fun bit about this, right, is if we can do like the major ones where you go. But then if you switch this to minor, you get. Which obviously sounds quite different. So I kind of wanted to play with this because you also have these other elements like sus chords, which again sound different. So if you see, that's different to the normal triad. And the main idea of this is you can go up here to a very complicated screen, but you can, let's go and select a nice patch before I do this. That's one that I've used before, which sounds good. Basically, you can make sort of random things here. Start it playing. Let's mute that one. Make it go a bit slower. And get that playing chords. You'll see it's playing chords here, but now if I change the scale we're in, it can change how the thing sounds. And we can change the root note as well. And play around with this. And the idea is everything that you do in this will kind of fit into this. So if we change this one into, let's knock this down a bit lower, make this one go up, and then we can have this one. And then hopefully, if we unmute this, you can start layering sounds and it reacts to the scale and the key and all this stuff you're in. And I thought that was a really cool idea that the Noodler did, and I wanted to play with it myself. Now, the problem is, and why I'm here today, is someone's asked me to come and use this for background music at an event I'm going to. And currently it's fine if you're playing with it and occasionally sort of changing things, but I want to make it so the music evolves more automatically in the background. Hello, Booty Johnson. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you enjoyed Solus 128. That feels like a very long time ago now. But yeah, still very happy that it's out there and people are playing it. So, I've got a couple of things that I want to do today, and I have not touched this for ages, so it's going to take a while to get back into it. There's a couple of things I want to do. So, if we get this playing again, obviously you saw here I can sort of randomize the notes. And one thing I think might be nice is to have an option so they kind of automatically randomize after a certain amount of time. So that means the music it's playing is kind of always constantly changing. So it'll just be a bit more interesting in the background, hopefully. Incidentally, you can also do kind of classic. If we mute that one, you can do classic kind of arpeggiator stuff as well if you know. If you played Synth gear. If you knock that up an octave, that'll be a bit obvious. Oh, you're playing chords as well. Let's make you an up. So you get sort of up arpeggiators, down arpeggiators, ping pongs. It just goes up and then down. But of course, staying in the scale, because we've told it to, in this case in the chord, we can also say do the whole scale. Let me redo that and set it to 1 octave. It will just play all 7 notes in the scale, or you can set it chromatically, which will just play up the keyboard with all the notes, but we don't normally do that because that often sounds a bit rubbish, because if you play notes right next to each other, they don't sound very good, which is why we have sort of scales and stuff. But even with this, it can be quite fun, because you can just put up, and you can listen to the different notes in the scale, which I always think is quite cool. And I didn't know there were so many different types of minor scales before I started playing with this. And this top row is kind of notes. So that's position in the sequence, the note you're playing, well, either the note you're playing or the chord you're playing. We'll get to that. And this bottom one is gate lengths and velocities. If you know anything about synth stuff, that would be relatively familiar. Gate's basically how long you hold the note down for. And we can also have empty ones, which means you can kind of put stutters in, which I quite like. But that's one of the things we're going to change as well. And then we've also got Oriental scales. If we go back and we... which one is that one? Make that one so there's no gaps. And the classic blues one. Which I like the blues scale, because it sounds really, really funky and cool without having to do much work. But yeah, we can bring this back in. And at the bottom, the other thing we've currently got is a really simple drum sequencer that I put in. So if we go back up here and make this, let's randomize these two. Maybe slow that one down. You can basically put in sort of different things on this drum sequencer. Change the length as well. What's fun here is if you do them at different lengths, you can get sort of really cool syncopated patterns. So Just stop them and restart that. So we've got actually what's quite a relatively complicated pattern on your drums just by kind of syncopating a bunch of stuff, which I think is really cool. I can mute the different bits as well. Oh. So, a couple of things I really want to do today. I want to just add a few more features so this is kind of a bit more ready to play in the background without me having to babysit it effectively. But as I say, I've not touched this for ages, so I have no idea how far I'm actually going to get through this because my knowledge of music theory is just not great. And yeah, I haven't touched for a while. I can't remember how a lot of the code works, but there's a couple of things that I've got on my list here. So the first one is if we come up to here, this is the first thing we're going to work on. Let's just mute the drums for a minute. So we've got this ability here, and we can also, by the way, you can completely just write your own patterns. And if you're in scale mode, it, by the way, ignores this middle ring and this outer ring. Whereas if you're in chord mode, it's playing notes out of this chord that you pick throughout these. So it's just giving a bunch of options. Now, let's go back to scale mode. One of the cool things we can do with this is if we do like a gate like that, you'll see basically it will go here and play that differently because it stutters. And also, this is where kind of this playhead, this is where this playhead is, and you can set them up so you get this kind of, if we make it quicker. So these patterns actually feel a lot longer than they are because you're getting this sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of syncopation between the different playheads. You can also set these to 0. And what that does differently to the top one is it doesn't delay this top playhead. So if we, for example, put one in here and we do an up down, it means you skip notes out of it. But each time we're going to skip different notes out of it. So again, it's just a way to add variation. But currently there's options to like randomize this all. But when I randomize the velocity, it can never go to 0. So that's the first thing I want to fix because I think that'll be interesting. So let's go into the code and let's figure out how we do that. Now this will be in the ARP controller. So how this whole thing works at a high level is I've got this music controller, and in here I've just got a big long list of places we can click, and everything works off kind of raycasts and colliders. So when you click, where this now must be in the update, I guess. Yeah, when we click on here, we say, if the fire button's down, we raycast into the world. And then if I unpause this, all of these buttony things, back to scene, all of these buttony things have a circle collider. And we're just doing it a bit jankily off the names. But it's, if we hit something and it's got the name, then we look up this dictionary that we filled with stuff. And we can do this really dirty hack where we say, look up this dictionary thing, and then call that method because I'm using delegates in C#, which just means you can define kind of a style of method, and then I can put that method in the dictionary and do that really dirty hack. So when we click the random button, so we've got ARP1 random, and we should have ARP2 random somewhere as well. We go to these methods. So let's see. In the ARP1 random button we have, if we've got different kind of buttons held down, it does different things. Generate random gates, generate random velocities, generate ARP random. So it's probably going to be in random velocities. Do I want to somewhere set how the percentage of offs? I do kind of, but let's not worry about that just now. So basically go through the pattern here, random the range. What are we doing? We're saying range. All right, we're passing in the potential up-down range, which is 50. So we're basically saying we can change the velocity to around the middle point, minus 25 and plus 25. So I'm just going to put a little hack in here and just say, if random dot value is less than 0.1, so that would just be there's a roughly 10% chance of this happening. Art pattern I equals 0. Else do this. Now, if I run this again, and again, let's just go set. Patches, by the way, are the noises. It's what Synth patch, the software synth's running behind the scenes. You can just think of it for now as how that synth will sound. So let's mute that one. So here, basically, we're saying play up and play values in the chord, and we're always just playing 0, which is the root one. So if I do this, you can see we're playing in the triad, and if we change what notes are played changes. So this is the stuff I love, right? Because we've set a pattern and then we can just like modify it and see how it sounds in different chords and keys and root notes. I just think that's so cool. Like, that tickles me. Okay, so anyway, let's see if we fixed it. So yeah, there we go. So now occasionally zeros will happen. And now currently that's always playing the same pattern, right? But if we just do this, the notes that are being played, the pattern that's being played changes, which is cool. And again, if we maybe make some of these tie notes as well, we're not changing the pattern, but we're putting delays in. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to do. Again, what we could do is we could randomize all of this, and we could make these patterns really long, like 32 steps, I think is the max. Make this to 2 octaves, drop that down. We've already got a relatively complicated pattern going on. And the fun one is you can also set this to chords. We probably want to knock that up one. I'll put strumming. I don't know how well that works. Awfully. Let's not use strum. We put chords in there, right? And then if we do this one, randomize all of this, make that one go to patch 1 as well. That already sounds kind of interesting, right? And this is these ones are how fast it's playing, so we can make it like play really fast. Too fast, some could argue. Or we can make it play really slow. Oh, that's crashed. So let's not make it go too fast, because there's clearly something that's making my synths unhappy. Probably I'm sending too many notes to them, which it really doesn't like. But anyway, okay, so that was the first thing I wanted to do. We can randomly put the velocity to 0. And I might later on add a UI element that lets you change the percentage for that. I can't quite be bothered right now. We now need to do... Does that work for both synths? Probably, because they should both... Yeah. So I've done it sensibly that I've just put one thing and they both pass into there. Great. Well done, past me. You actually coded this sensibly for once. That's very rare that I do that. So I mentioned patches. So we've had this one that I quite like because it's a simple kind of sine wave patch. But we could go and find... this uses a thing called Audio Helm, by the way. So a lot of these patches came with Audio Helm. Let's find... that one. Let's try playing this. Now let's make these up again. Make that big. So this one's already got probably an ADSR envelope on it because it doesn't get held down. Although, I don't know, maybe. Oh no, it does. It just, I need to fiddle with the gate lengths. Okay. That one's patch 1. So yeah, when you change the patches, it changes how it sounds really quite dramatically. Really quite dramatically sometimes. We've got some basses. Let's do some basses. They're perhaps a bit too bassy. And you can run multiple ones at the same time, so let's set this to a lead. Oh, I like that. I like that patch at the bass. It doesn't really work with the top patch. This is where you just end up then getting like hugely distracted for a while, playing with stuff. I don't hate that. This is my want, put it into a minor chord. And we put some bass on it. I like some drums on it. Now, the next thing is we maybe want to add it to randomize for each loop. I want to also change it so it randomizes some of this other stuff. Now, if that's the case, how are we best to do that? We will probably want to set up another delegate sort of thing, I think. Anyway, hopefully you can see why I dig this stuff, because otherwise I could just sit here for like about 2 hours just like playing away with this and being a very happy boy. So next thing is I want to add the ability to randomize the ARP each loop. So that must, in the ARP controller, we must have, where's the stuff that actually, so this is by far the most complicated bit of code to make this all work. And there's definitely some bugs in here. So if you've heard like stuff with the ties not working properly, I'm aware. I don't have time to go in and fix it right now though. We have this thing, global note triggers. Yeah, so we have already some sort of messages going around. Note triggers. Ah, okay, yeah, so this is saying that like, this is saying when you're subscribing to it. So effectively, where do I set these up? It's probably in the music controller, isn't it? So I basically have a bunch of stuff running. Where do I set those up? Find all references. Set those up somewhere. There we go. No. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So these are basically the different beats I've got running at all times. So that's kind of once this, well, this again all depends on the tempo, but that's every tempo note. That's half every tempo note. That's double every quadruple, etc. So I think that's right. So basically, you change it here. Currently, if we change, yeah, because it's 120. And again, let's go pick a non-horrible thing. That one. Mute that. Get that playing. So this should now, because it's 120, that will be playing 120 notes per second. If we make it half, it'll play one a second. Well, that would be quite a good pad one if we make that slower. Oh, yeah. I need to remember that patch. That one sounds amazing when it's slow. Anyway. I have no idea which synth that's playing when I do that. That's really odd. So, anyway, what is it doing? Yes, randomizing each thing. So what happens is we have the music controller and it will fire these different note triggers when it needs to, right? It depends which note trigger is being listened to. But our ARP subscribes and unsubscribes to these. That's what this code is here. And we tell it to like subscribe to the basically play next ARP note ones. So this is saying get the position. We're using a modulo here. Yeah, we're using a modulo here to basically just automatically wrap it down. If the position is greater than this, if up one, yeah, this is where I'm going to get really like baffled. So the rhythm position, and we've got the pattern position. Yeah, so what this is saying is if our rhythm that we've picked up, if its value is greater than 0, then we move the pattern position. If it's not greater than 0, then we just hold off. So that's what gives us that kind of skipping. Now, what we need to do here, though, is we need to basically put a hook in for how often we want to randomize the thing. So let's start off by putting a little cheeky button in. And we're going to steal these little cheeky buttons. That should be fine. That's got a box collider. That's got a box collider because they do slightly different things. Yeah, so we're gonna, let's duplicate both of those just for now. And then we're going to move them a bit across. 16, 18. Okay, and we'll have ARP1 randomize, ARP1 rand frequency. And this can start with rand off. We just need to make that a bit bigger so that fits. And this can start with say frequency 1. So that's every time it loops. And then we should probably got those positions. So then we can have private int ARP1 rand freak equals 1. And we'll just let that autocomplete for us. And I'm just going to put these in different rows so it's easier to keep track of them. ARP1 rand is false. Thank you. Okay, so then we just need to put a bit of a thing in here that says... Now, yeah, because we're using the modulo, that's a bit annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look... Before it plays any notes, I'm going to look if it's at the 0th position. Am I? Oh, that feels like it's got issues. Yeah, so instead, let's look at it before I do that. So if ARP1 pattern position equals probably this -1, because our pattern length might be 32, but because we use 0 index to raise, that would actually be 31. So if we're at basically at the end of the pattern, we want to do some stuff. The first thing we want to do is we want to check if ARP1 random. Otherwise, we don't want to do this. And then we want to say ARP1 random frequency. We're going to need more than this. We're going to need random frequency. And we're going to need ARP1 rand in. Just going to set that to 1 as well for now. And ARP2 rand in. You'll see what these are for in a second. So ARP1 random frequency rand in minus. That'll just take 1 off it. If ARP1 rand in, say equal or less than 0, it should just need to be equals. It's actually the other way around, less than or equal to 0. But I know that I've been doing this long enough that sometimes values get below 0 and it wonks. So right, if this is randomized, great. And we're going to say it's going to just randomize everything for now. So we should have bits for like randomize. Yeah, generate ARP random. So basically, we sort of want to do all of this. Update rhythm length. I don't know why we have to do that. Oh, does that actually update the... Right, that's the bit that goes through and actually updates it. So, first off, let's say we're just going to do this bit. Then we need to say ARP1 randin equals ARP1 random frequency to reset it. Okay. Next we need to add in some extra functions. So we need a public void. Is there a playing one? We must have a playing one in here. Yeah, we want something like this, basically. In fact, let's put it up here, so it's kind of near where we care about it. Yeah, okay. Public void. Oh, we already had that copied. Public void. Let's just go and delete the random nonsense down here. That's going to cause us issues. ARP1 rand clicked. Then we can say, basically do this little trick up here. So ARP1 rand equals not ARP1 rand. That will just flip our Boolean. If it's randomized, we can say, what did we say? Rand on, otherwise rand off. We'll just for now put in the other one, although we've not put the UI in to do this yet. That's a simple fix. Okay, and then we also want public void ARP1 rand freak clicked. Now, one of the things is that whenever a click comes through here, no matter what modifier I'm doing, it should come through. The only thing I'm not sure about is we have right click as well to do some stuff. How have we dealt with that? We'll look at that in a second. So if the frequency's clicked, no, actually, no, I need to know it now. Oh, interesting. Have I just fudged this horribly? I might have just fudged this up horribly. Yes, I have. So I put both mouse 1 and 0 in, so then I'm just hacking it later. Okay. So we can say if we've clicked mouse button 0, that's the left mouse button normally. Then we can say ARP1 rand freak. And we'll just... Do we want to put a limit on this? Let's put a limit on this. And the frequency is less than, let's say, 5. Then we increase the frequency. And remember our semicolons. If it's else if... Yeah, that should be it, right? That will now get up, and we'll need to do some stuff after that. Else if, basically if it's any of the other mouse buttons, we'll just say for now, and we'll say if it's greater than 0, greater than 1, I'll go down, and then at the bottom, we probably need to have, hooks into that. We've got a bunch of them up here, so we'll add to this. ARP1 muted. We have ARP1 rand, ARP1 rand frequency. There we go. And then should get back to our. Just change this here. ARP1 rand.text. Rand.text. And this should be. We'll need to go put these in as well. I know. Put these in at the end of the list. And change the values. All right, so in the ARP screen, we've now got a bunch of empty ones here. We're just going to lock that for when we're dragging stuff across. Otherwise, it annoys the absolute piss out of me. We have ARP1 randomize here. We want that one to go into there. We have the frequency text. We want to go into there. And we might as well copy these, paste them as children here. We'll just put them, we'll just rename them and then put them into our thing over here. And then we can make that go away because I want to see, that's Y1. Yeah, so these both need to be Y1 to line up. Well, actually, Y1 and Y2, Y1 and Y0, that makes sense. Y1, Y0. And then 18 and 18. All right, there we go. So they're at least appearing in the right place now. Go back down to here. That should now update correctly. And in this, we want to say ARP1 rand frequency.text equals freak. And we're not worrying about translation or anything for this. We absolutely could, and you know, at some point we absolutely should, but boy is that outside of the scope of this random faff project that I'm doing. All of these should be 2s. Okay. The final thing we need to do to get that working is we need to go into our music controller and then we need to add them into the possible things we can click. So we have ARP, that's where we need the names. We have ARP1 randomize and ARP1 frequency, rand freak, I think. And this should call ARP1 random clicked, ARP1 random frequency clicked. And if this all goes well, this should then all pass through where we expect it to. But we'll see. I never trust things when they work first try. Right, save everything. Let Unity compile it. And see how we go. Okay. Okay, so that appears to be working. That appears to be working. That can go up and it can go down. Now the question is, if we go and grab a patch, what's like the chiptune one sound like maybe? Well, that's very chiptuney. I mean, I don't like it, so I'm just going to go change that. What's that sound? That's a bit nicer. Okay. For random frequency at 3, so now if we... Let's put that down to 1. And then we say random on. This should now hopefully randomise this every time it gets to the end. Not working, I'm suspicious. Let's just stop these being ties. Oh, I'm really suspicious that's working. Okay. Put the frequency up to 2. So it didn't change that time. It did change that time. Oh, deeply suspicious. Okay, let's knock this one down a few more octaves. Get this one going. Ah, you see, this one's not working. Two changes. Let's just make sure this works fully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we knock that down. Now we can make this really long. Make this slightly different. We randomise this. Put this to scale. This should now hopefully generate basically infinite random melodies. That's cool. Which we can then make minor. Yeah. This is our overall tempo, so we can make it go silly fast. Hopefully silly slow as well. Okay, so a couple of things. This one's not working down here for some reason. So let's go fix that bug. Second thing is I think we want the pattern changing when it gets to there, and I think when we get to the end of this one, we want this bit randomizing as well. But that should be relatively easy. But let's fix the high level bug first, which is when we get to this one. So that is randomizing, that is randomizing. I've just remembered what the problem will be. I didn't put the code. I didn't copy the code across because I'm a plum. So it's never looking at this value. Yeah, so we've got all this stuff. We need to copy that across to the other one. Because we've got play next up 1 note and we've got play next up 2 note. So this, yeah, this gubbins needs to go in here. So we're detecting the end of it. That's fine. Put that in there, and then I think we should be good to basically say all 1s become 2s in this selection. Yep. All right, so let's see if that's now working. We can have like 2 of them on the go at the same time. Hello, Prosto. Thank you for joining us. Right, so let's go as before. Let's pick a nice patch. I'm going to go back to my old faithful, the one based off the sine waves. in Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead, because it sounds nice and chill, because a sine wave tends to be a nice chill one. Set those to that. Just for testing, we'll keep these a bit shorter. We'll randomize everything. Randomize everything. And let's say go. Let's knock this one down a couple of octaves. Let's say that one can play chords. Both do 2 octaves worth. Now, I want this one to randomize every time it gets to the end. Lovely. This one to randomize every time it gets to the end. That's still not working. Why is that still not working? Oh, because that's been changed to 2. Because I did the auto. Because I did the auto replace. Random frequency. Should all be fine. And is this being correctly flipped? It does look like it. I'm making a... I don't know how to describe it. It's based off a thing called the Noodler, which is sort of this MIDI device that allows you to make generative music. But the whole point of it is it will allow you to stick within kind of chords and scales and stuff. So you can like play different modes, but then we can say change to minor and go. Or change to like a sus chord and go. Or a 7th, which has 4 notes in it. But I'm trying to make it so it can basically procedurally generate infinitely, because somebody's asked me to use it for background music at an event. And currently it's fun to play around with, but it doesn't allow you to leave it alone very well. Now, remember that one sounding nice. Let's go back and... Oh, I might have been wrong about that one. Ooh, no. Keys. Now I've forgotten where that xylophone was. That's annoying. I quite like the xylophone. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's just mute both of them for the minute. Put some random stuff in. And just see, why is this not randomizing? Yeah, if this is all set into kind of chords. Currently they're playing like arpeggiated in the chords. But what's cool about it is if we then change the details here, it will change all of the noises that are coming out of it. But it will keep it all kind of in key and in sync with each other. So you can edit these and like all the music will shift, but still hopefully sound nice together. You can change the root as well. And I really like it. Is if you put it in minor and C sharp, it does sound really suspicious. That stands for suspended second, I think, but it does sound suspicious, which pleases me. Just spilling stuff down myself. Can it be used as background for playing? Well, that's kind of the idea, is it will be used at an event to play in the background, yeah. But I don't know. Oh, hang on. Oh. And that one's getting to the end. It's also randomizing that one. Right. That might be where our bug is. Play next up. Note 2. So when we get to this position... So when we get to the end of the second ARP pattern... Oh yeah, I'm sure you could use it as a background when you're like playing with other instruments. One of the things I'm not going to get around to today is I've got a really nice piano sample synth that I use in my other game, CRT7, and I want to have that in as an option. Generate random pattern. Why is that? Why are you updating? Why are you randomizing the wrong one here? You shouldn't be doing that. Passing an ARP2 pattern. ARP1 pattern. That's weird. Obviously missing something. Let's just keep these both muted. Start that again. So if this random, just offset that. Oh, that's breaking everything. Interesting. Interesting. So generating the second pattern. Update pattern length. But it seems to be... Okay, let's just... Is it actually just the visuals that are wrong, or is it the audio that's wrong? That's the next question I have. So mute that one. That one again. Right, so get that playing. Get that random on. The text that it's messing up, because that is... Change that to scale, that'll be easier. So yeah, it's just the visuals that are wrong. It's the second ARP is now playing what's up here, including the gaps. Ah, right, why is that happening? Update ARP pattern length. In text offset. Okay, when I use this elsewhere, have I just done something wrong? I have to put an offset of 4? I have to put an offset of 4. Because that's where it's starting with. Oh, okay, right, so that's what's wrong. So apparently I've got a really hacky... You have to put in 4 when you're updating this one. Cool. Thanks, past me. I was complimenting on you on not doing anything dumb like that earlier, but oh well. Okay. Oh, it does remember the patch from last time when I'm playing in Unity. Okay. These both to scales. Increase the octaves on both. And let's go back to this one. And let's knock that down. Let's knock that down. So we have some syncopation. Let's just make sure this one's going at the right time. 1, 2. Cool. Alright, and let's make this one play chords. The scale can be chords as well. Okay, so that randomization seems to be working at least. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to randomize the gate lengths and the velocities as well. When the second head, like playhead, gets to the end of those. And we'll just leave that reading off the same frequency. So again, that's the thing up here where we want to say if it's basically this line. If the up to rhythm position, oh yeah, okay, fine, we'll start this one, equals global values dot up to rhythm length. Yep, -1. Then we can basically do a similar thing to what we've got here. Except we don't need that outer bit, we've already got that outer bit. So we can say if the up to is random is on, we're going to need different counters then, yeah, okay. So we want ARP1 rand, let's rename this, ARP1 rand pattern in, ARP2 rand pattern in, and then we'll have ARP1 rand rhythm. Oh, changed the wrong bit. Hang on. Yeah, come on. Rhythm in, and then we want ARP2 rand rhythm in as well. And yeah, they're grayed out because we're not using them yet, but we will be in a second. And when we update this random frequency, yeah, it's fine. Okay. So, ARP to random rhythm in minus minus. This is less than or equal to 0, then do this. Now at this point, we don't want to generate ARP random. We want to do the other ones. We want to generate random velocities and generate random gates. So let's find where we're already calling those. So it's that one and that one. Okay, yeah, it's not too bad. So we want to do that one. We want to do generate random gates. Ref global values, shut up. Visual Studio, I don't care. ARP to gates. Okay. Up to rhythm. Okay. Rhythm. Close that, and then we don't need that. And then we want to update them all again just to make sure the values are updated. And then this should now be that. Okay. Let's see if we've got that working, and then we can add that to ARP1 as well. We'll just mute that one for now. Let's make these different lengths. Let's randomize everything. Turn that on. This top one's working, bottom one's not working. Okay. Well, let's debug this and see what's wrong. So let's attach that to Unity. Track our code. Yep. It's Unity door. It's recompiling stuff it needs to do. Okay, that one, we might as well start that. Oh yeah, let's maybe put the breakpoint in there so it's not constantly doing stuff. Turn random on. Okay. Okay. So that should be changing things, except we're only telling it to update the pattern length. I think I've just realized what I've done wrong. So when we do this one, in one of the other positions, we need to update ARP rhythm length, apparently. Okay. Obviously, we want that one, offset that one. So we're expecting length of it, the rhythm pattern, the velocity pattern, the text offset, and that's ARP length modifiers. As opposed to down here, so that's doing ARP strings 0 and 1. Yeah, that makes sense. And then this one is doing, it's doing the other ones. I've separated them out for some reason, I guess, but that's fine. So hopefully that should now work. And update the values. Let's have a look. Mute you, turn you to on. Lovely, so that's now randomizing that. Slow that down a bit and we put it into something a bit more pad-like. definitely some maths calculation going on wrong there. Okay, let's stop that. Stop. Okay, right. Let's sort that all out for the other one, for ARP1. Then we'll see where we are from there. So that needs to be all ones, that needs to be one, that needs to be one, that needs to be one. That needs to be one, 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 that needs to be 0. Those needs to be ones. Sensational. I was typing the wrong digit throughout all of that, so let's try that again. Okay. Okay. Oh. I wonder if that's going to break horribly. Yeah, because I had it open, and you're not supposed to really have it open when you do stuff. Unity gets very confused if you do. Let's do that xylophone again. Knock this one down a few octaves, knock this one down a few octaves. Give them random syncopating lengths for the fun of it. Now if we turn all this on, hopefully if we then hit that should now give us sort of constantly, what's the word? I guess just constantly evolving patterns. Wow, that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's... That's nice. Now when you change these features, once it gets to the end, it will pay attention to what you've set for randomizing it as well. Let's go find... Let's go find a good bass patch, maybe. One based on a Moog. Go on then. based on the scale. That would probably make it a bit more interesting. I feel like I'm just going to get distracted playing with this again. No, not that one. Alright, well that's the first two things that I wanted to really get working today, was this ability to randomise it as it went. And of course we go and add in some drum beats. I seem to have lost the toms from this. I'll maybe go sort that later. Cool, but not quite what I'm looking for. Okay. Oh, I was enjoying that. Now let me just put this to play focused. I just want to make sure stuff's coming through the mixers where I expect them to be coming through. this is the next thing I want to do. I want to add a mixer screen. So let's stop all of that absolute nonsense. Okay, so cool. So we've added random velocities in. They can go to 0. We've added the ability to randomize the arc each loop, which I think is cool. How are we doing for time? Yeah. So I'm going to start adding in a mixer screen, which has a couple of things. So basically, I think I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mixer visuals. So the first thing I really need to do is add in sort of a wrapper class and figure out where to put that. So let's do that, I guess. So we want to empty a game object. This will be mixer screen. Okay, let's go to the main screen where we have our little buttons. In fact, what we're going to do is we are going to, from this main screen, we're going to steal. Now we have to ARP to drones. Which one have I said that? That was to pads. I don't think I'm going to do pads, so I'm going to steal this one for the mixer screen. We're just going to say this one's 2 mixer for now. But I want the 2 drone one. I want to steal this one, paste this child in this one. It should go in the same place, and then I want this to go 30, let's say 60 to the right, just so it's out of the way. Okay. And then we also want to steal this, and we want to put this as a child over here as well. So we have something up here to say, and this one's going to be mixer screen. Okay, and that rather than 2 drone, what have I called this in other areas? Oh yeah, if we just call this 2 main, that should automatically work. Then we just need to go into here, and we've got, should have main to drums. Yep, then we can have 2 mixer. And we can then just override this, because all it does is it just updates where the camera is, right? And actually we want 60, 0 minus 10. And we can just say to the mixer screen, save all of that. And hopefully that will allow us to jump to our next screen using the buttons. Oh yeah. Great. Okay. That's all broadly working. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see if I can have the bars reacting like we do here. Now, I know... Oh, we're in play mode. There's this slightly weird thing where you have to add... Yeah, you have to expose parameters. And this is where I need to remember how the hell you go about exposing parameters. So you expose volume there. These are all different channels. That's fine. I'm just going to look up Unity expose current volume audio mixer. It might be that we can't see it. Actually, we're not allowed to see the current visual. I think I know I've done this before as well. I'm trying to remember how I grabbed the values before. Let me see if I've got some code anywhere that did it. I remember it being not too bad. This. Well, let's just actually close everything else in there because there is a bunch of stuff in there you don't need to see. Close all but this. Close that one. It's not that one anyway. How did I do this previously? Because I've definitely done this previously. Spectrum controller. That might be it. So I've got the spectrum data before. That's probably not quite what I want though, because that's only from a single source. It says play source. Yes, that's only coming out of a single audio source. It's not quite what I want. Yes, a definite hard thinking moment. It might be that I just can't get what I want out of this because I know audio mixers are really difficult. What are these officially called? Get current level of audio mixer. Classic Unity forums. It links to an answer that's obviously no longer there because they've moved everything. Sensational. Runtime and audio filter read. It's possible to write native audio plugin that will extract this data. Oh no. Yeah, let's not go to that yet. Call this method by reflection. Interesting. Public int get group UV info ball fader. Yeah, we might not quite try and do that yet because that sounds really faffy. Might be something I do offline. It doesn't seem. Yeah, it's all audio spectrum stuff, not what I want right now. All right, well, for now, let's just sort out so we can actually change these. Because that you definitely can do. Now, you have to go into here and you have to expose volume of drums to script. And we'll expose volume of synth 1 to script. Expose volume of synth 2 to script. Expose volume of synth 3 to script. Okay, so we've now got all these exposed parameters. Drum vol. Synth 1 vol. And we'll just rename all of these so they make some sense. Oh, why didn't you copy? 2 vol. Copy. Synth 3 vol. And synth 4 vol. Okay. And these relate to the different patches. So when you set patch 1 or patch 2, you're actually setting what's being set here in Audio Helm. So, what's a nice way to do this? More importantly, what's a quick way to do this? I guess we can, in our mixer screen, we can create say a rectangle. Oh no, a size of 10 that way. And we want to do color, sort of nice color. Give it a fill. Let's say we go from a green at the bottom to a red at the top. We'll just give it a little fill like that. Okay, that's probably a bit high actually, so let's make that down to 8. So we'll also need to label these. Let's just start with drum volumes. Right, the next thing I have to remember is how do you use exposed values in scripts? I've definitely done it before. For a reference variable to a mix, you can call the get float. That sounds familiar. Okay. Okay. So, first things first then, we need to make a new script on here. So we can call this the mixer controller. That's the structure I've been using previously. Let Unity compile that, put that on here. And then we want to expose some values, which we can use the serialized field thing for. And we want to audio mixer group, I think is what we want. And we want drum mixer, synth 1 mixer, synth 2 mixer, synth 3 mixer. We might change this later to make this an array, but this should do for now. Okay. So we have different mixers there. And we'll want shapes. That's a good point. What are these actually called? So can we just say that's a rectangle then? Yep, and we want rectangle, and we need to probably put another a serialized field in here. Rectangle, drum, visual, synth, visual, synth 1 visual, and then we could just copy that across. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes, shush, shush, shush. Right, okay. So, in here, we'll also want a public void drum mix up, public void drum mix down, and we will want some text under this. So let's put TextMesh Pro in here. We basically want the same as this. Instead of doing that, let's just duplicate that. Makes our life a lot easier. We just put 0, 0. We don't want the backing. And we want these to be centered values and top values. And this can just be like our mixer volume. So it's obvious. And then we will put this down here. Okay. Which then means we'll also need to capture all of those as well. Two, three, four. We'll just set up one of them to start off with because a lot of this will be duplicated code. All right. Now, when you had the ARP stuff, let's just grab this quickly because we will need this in here. It's going to complain, but that's fine for now. Right, so privately, we want private. This should probably have text after all of these. Let's make that clearer, and then we can have private actual drum vol. What are we going to do? Private int for now should be okay. Thank you, autocomplete, sort of. And we'll just set these all to start at 100. 100, 100, 100, 100. I've copied those weirds. Set those all to start at 100 when we load. Okay. Then we will say, I have an else down here as well. So, if the drum mix is up, we'll go. So now I can't remember which was shift. Yeah, so we have shift as the small one, control as the bigger one. So if it's shift, we will say that you up the volume plus equal, let's say plus equals 10. And if it's control, we'll up the drum volume by plus equals, say 25. Otherwise, we'll just up the drum volume by 1. But for consistency, we'll do that. And then at the end, we will say drum volume equals math.min, min 100, and then itself. That just automatically caps us at that. And then similarly, we can copy all of this, do it on the other way around, and we just do minus equals. We change that to max and 0. Okay. We then have a couple of things we need to do. We need to update this, and this is, so we need to just change its size, and that will be drum visual. dot size, height, I guess, maybe? Height of the rectangle, fine, equals 8 times, we'll do this, 8f times drum vol divided by 100f, and now just so it actually does this properly as a float, we'll do that. Put that down here as well, and then we need to stick in some visuals so we can control this up and down as well. You should probably use the similar ones to what we've used in other places. So let's copy that one, go back to our mixer screen. Whoop, a bit too in there. In fact, what do we do for these up ones? Go away, gizmos. Let's use these littler ones here. That makes more sense. All right, well, thanks for joining. It is just in-depth code stuff today. Thank you. You too. Have a good rest of your day. 1.5. Okay, then we'll grab the other one, the down one, copy that out as well. Where are you? Copy that, paste as child. You'll see in a second why I'm doing it like this. It should hopefully make my life easier later. Big hope. Okay, now we call this one drum vol up. Call this one drum vol down. And we have to go and put these in here. Make a region. It's going to be mixer. Region, and then we want an end region. These regions, by the way, if you've not used them before, they just let you kind of nicely hide stuff in here. They don't go through to your code at all. Okay, then we can do click results, add some click results, and we have drum vol up. And this will go to mixer controller, which we don't have a thing for yet, but we will in a second. In fact, I should probably do that now. Mixer controller, which is not, to be fair, super sensible, but I've done it now. Drum mix up. And then we can do drum mix down. Save everything. And then we have to start putting a bunch of stuff into here. Interesting, so you never actually even got the thing. Fine. First thing we need to do is we need to go to our main screen controller. I think. Is it not in our main screen controller? We don't care about that one. That's all fine. So why is our music? It is on here. Oh, it's down there. I'm just not looking. There we go. Right. So that should now link those together. Then on here, we have a bunch of stuff to drop in. So we'll use the old trick of putting that in. That. Oh, no, hang on. These should be audio mixer groups. So we can do that through here. And say that that's the drums. That's synth 1. That's synth 2. That's synth 3. That's synth 4. And the drum visuals will be that one. Drum text will be that one. Then we'll fill in the other ones as we do them. All right, let's see if this works even slightly. It won't affect the volume yet, obviously, but that's fine. Okay, and I, on that note, forgot to tell it to update the volume text. So, drum text, what's that called? Drum vol text dot text equals just drum vol. Now will complain. I'm just going to do a dirty hack to make it into a string so it's happy. Okay. So there you go. So that's now updating the text. I am going to probably make it so the volume sliders don't slide into the middle like that because I don't really like that. It's normally a relatively easy fix. You do drum visual dot transform dot position equals new vector free. So when it's 100, 100 should be there. We need to make it go down by 4, basically. So we want to keep the X, we want to change the Y, we want to keep the Z the same. So this should be minus 4F, which will make it go down half its height, plus drum vol divided by 100. So this will then give us sort of a 100F times 4F, I think, because that will give us a between 0 and 1. Let's see. There's all these things. It's often quicker just to test it to make sure you've not made a mistake in your logic. Damn it should be game object. Just going to do that just in case, because I want to move the whole game object, and we've got access to the rectangle, so that might cause some issues. I mean, it's more likely my maths is wrong. I mean, the fact it's oh, first of all, it only works there. Oh, and secondly, it's obviously it's moving everything. Because I've made everything a child off of that. Oh, okay. So actually, the maths is generally working. Well, mostly. But they can't all be children of the same thing. Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Create empty. We'll say drum wrapper. Make this 0, 0, 0. Make that a child of that. We'll drag that into there. And drag all of these out of there. Now, that shouldn't affect the buttons and everything while we're doing it. We do need to copy that visual code under there. Okay. Okay, cool. While we're here as well, we should probably have, we've got that text, we should probably have this one above it. Oh, that's interesting. That's a bit, oh yeah, because we need to change that to that one. This can just be drums. All right. And finally, what we need to do is we need to make it actually affect the drum volume, which it doesn't currently do, which we can do by doing drum mixer dot set get float. Okay. So we've got drum audio group. I'm not able to do get float on that for some reason. We just want audio mixer. We don't want audio mixer group. Interesting. So we'd be able to then say get float, set float, and the float would be drum vol. This is where we need to go and what was that? Yeah, drum vol. And then we put in a value, right? Now, that's going to break everything outside. So let's go fix that. So yeah, these have all got... So we can't have the sub... Interesting. So those do have to be drum mixer groups for what I want to do. For some reason, we're then not able to get the mixer from those. Okay, that's not going to compile because of this. Drum mixer dot audio mixer dot set float. Are we okay with that? That feels like it's a bit janky, but it might work. Okay, we've put that in drum mix up. So we can see if that now works, because if we go over here, just put down like a 4 to the floor. Drum thing. Just mute these. Oh. The fact that those are flipped, I really need to fix. Also, why are they out of line? Two things I'll fix in a second. Well, I mean, that didn't work. Okay, so drum mixer, audio mixer group. Oh, because hang on, because I'm setting that. Well, hang on. This will be in. I think this will be in decibels, which will confuse things. So let's just set that to like really low. I mean, that's kind of like off, basically. Ah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is working. Look, that's set to -80, which is the min, which is what we want. Now we need a little bit of maths hacking. because we've got a linear volume bar and audio volumes are logarithmic. So if you don't do this, you get very little control over the actual perceptual volume of things, because most of our volume detection's near the top. But I've stole some maths elsewhere, and I'm going to do an incredibly hacky bit of maths in here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do an inline if statement. As I say, this is going to be super hacky. But if the drum vol equals 0, then I want this to be set to like just off. That just means there's no lingering things. Otherwise, I want to take the value and do a logarithmic conversion on it in base 10. And I think I need to, from what I remember, I think I need to like divide it by the max, like that. So we'll just float that again. Stop being silly, brain. I've got in my maths, I need to times it by 20. I cannot remember why. But we're going to do that because that's what I've got in my maths. Then we're going to basically keep an eye on this down here to make sure what we're doing makes some sense. Although I've realized I've only put that in one. So again, let's put that in both. At some point I'll have to come back and make this code just nicer, which I will do in a second. It'll be really easy to make this nicer in a lot of ways. Okay, so currently drivers are at -1. So there we go. Up here you can see that, yeah. As we knock this down, it's going down and down and down and down and down. We go back up again, going up and up. I'm not sure how good separation that'll give us, but we'll find out. Not awful. Not awful at all. But everything's here. I mean, when we make this bar half as high, that's much closer to it saying, like it sounding half as loud than it would be if we'd like done -40 decibels. It's not perfect because you really want to hold the button down, but we're not fixing that right now. Okay, so, great. How do we fix this to make it better? Well, I don't want to have to copy all this code over and over again. That's really prone to bugs. Private void mixer. Oh, yes, okay, maybe that's how we do it. Yeah, we say mixer vol down. We say private void mixer vol up. And then we say private void update mixer. Okay. Then we just have to look what we need in here. So for mixer down, we need, what's that? That is our mixer controller. It's just an int. So that's int It's which vol will do. And then we need which rect. Then which, oh, that should be a rectangle. Which rect. Then text mesh pro, which text. And then finally audio mixer group, which group. Okay. Now the advantage of, I forgot to comment, the advantage of this is we can now go in and we can basically do all of this stuff. Now I'm also going to just grab this, put this in here, put this in here. Because now what we want to do is we want to grab all of this scrap and put it in here. And all mix down will do is call mixer volume down with all the details we've put in. But instead, here we just say it updates all of these volumes. Then importantly, it calls update mixer and passes through, all of the stuff, like which vol, which rec, which, thank you, autocomplete. And then in this bottom one, because this stuff doesn't care about whether we've gone up or down. Oh no, well that bit actually does have to be in there. This bit, then we can say the rectangle works off that. It uses this volume. We set this volume to this text, and we say this mixer works off of this volume, this volume. So now all of this shouldn't have access to any of this stuff up here. So yeah, that should all update itself. That then means this stuff can be replicated. All we need to do is here is we just say which volume. Well, we say, well, we want the drum volume, we want the drum visual, we want the drum text, and we want the drum mixer. That should all happily work. Similarly, we can now take all of this stuff for the drum mix up and say, well, it's this volume, 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 and I want you to call update mixer. And this will simplify our, don't want to actually cut that. This will simplify our upcoming code immensely. I don't want to cut, I want to copy. Because then if we have to tweak anything here, it should just tweak all fine and dandy and happy. And now that's the only problem. Yeah, that's the problem. One of the problems we're going to have. We have to specify the name as well. So we'll also need string variable name in here and in here. And this will have to be variable name in here. It's a bit upsetting, but it is what it is when it comes to these exposed parameters. Audio mixers are always a bit weird and a bit strange because they run kind of separately to the rest of your game engine, because they sort of have to, because they're really intensive and it's better to run them on a different thread or a different processor or whatever. Okay. Right. So next thing, let's just check I haven't broken anything in all those changes. Okay. The console error message has gone away. That's always a good sign. Let's get us something nice. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, something's clearly not working. This is working. This is not working. So what have I fluffed? This. I forgot to update those ones. Okay, the rest look okay. So let's try that again. Silly Billy. So those muted. I will fix those soon. Why is that still not going down? What? Press up. That's all the same stuff through. Also, it's annoying me these are the wrong way around. Excuse me while I sort this out from my brain. So we say which volume plus up. Oh, that'll probably have to be references because we're updating them. It's just ref int, right? And then I have to say. Otherwise, you pass them by value and not by reference, and they don't update properly, and it's a whole thing. Whereas the other things, when they're visuals, they can and should be all right. Let's just make sure that is working now. Yeah, there we go. The joy of object-oriented coding, when you have references and by variable, and sometimes they go by one, sometimes they go by another, blah, 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 blah. Now let's just, again, make sure that's working, how we want it to work. Oh, not that one. That's actually, I think that's working really nicely. Perfect. So, well, you know what that means. Now we just have to do that for all of the synths. Okay. So, we'll put the drum synth to the left, I guess. That feels weird. I'll put it to the right. So why do you go if it's 0? What that? I don't know why that. If I pull that out entirely, right, and we say that's 0, 0, 0, 0. Strange. Anyway, doesn't really matter right now. You just say I want you to go like plus. Let's line this up nicely. Plus 12. We want that to line up with this element up here. Let's knock that one down. Okay. And we'll say 60 minus 10. Minus 5 maybe. This will be synth 1 wrapper. Oh. And then we will synth 1. Oh, we'll call this patch 1. So it matches the text elsewhere. Name. That can be just name. That can be just name. This can be synth volume 1, synth. Oh, yeah, synth 1 up, synth 1 down. Yeah, we're going to have to do this a lot, I suspect. That could be there. That could be there. That can be there, but that doesn't look great. So, in fact, we're going to knock all of these across a little bit. I don't super love that. I don't super love that. All right, well, let's get this drum one lined up somewhere where it doesn't look horrible. Basically want those values to line up because that will be pleasing. We can do this while it's actually open. That will probably be easier. Oh, no, I don't hate that. Okay, cool. And then I like the separation there, and then we'll just say that it's maybe 62. No, 63. No. Wait, it was 55 for that one, so maybe 58. See, that's a bit close. We'll make that 59. We can take 2 off that one. And then 4 off that one. That will make it 66. 67. 67, is that right? Probably. And then we just want to make all of these. Probably just a little bit closer, so they're clearly linked. Should be able to do with all of these at once, if I'm lucky. Nice. Oh, I forgot the drum ones. And we'll do the drum ones as well while we're here. Okay. Then we just need to go through and we need to update all the text. Then we'll need to add all the buttons in and put the code in so we can do this. But then we should have a basically functioning mixer screen, which will be cool and very helpful for when some of the synths, as happens a lot, sound at very different volumes to other ones. And then our final synth here. Synth volume 4. All right. Save that. Yes, go in here and let's put in all the calls first. So we'll have synth 1 vol up and synth 1 vol down. And this should call synth 1 mix up and synth 1 mix down. It's going to complain because we've not made these methods yet, but we'll go through and do them in a second. So for this, we can just say 1 to 2. For these ones, we can say 1 to 3. And for these ones, we can say 1 to... Well, now because I fluffed that up, we can say 3 to 4. Cool. And this is where what we did previously will really help us. So rather than having to duplicate all this code, we can basically just duplicate this one bit of code. Which just allows us to point different things. So we have synth 1 vol, we have synth 1 visual, we have synth 1 vol text, we have Synth 1 mixer. We have Synth 1 vol. All of this should be the same for this one. And then we again need to duplicate that and duplicate that and duplicate that. And we take these first two. So all of the ones become 2s. Take these ones. We say all of the ones become 3s. We take this one and we say all of the ones become 4s. All right. Now we've done all of that. We have to go into Unity and like plug in all the different bits, which is going to be annoying. So it's a problem with doing it this way. If you're not doing it like, well, just UI stuff always takes a bit more. Synth 1 visual, Synth 2 visual, Synth 3 visual, Synth 4 visual. We have name, 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 name. All right, let's go and see what we've broken, because we will have absolutely broken something. I mean, that bodes well. They absolutely don't work. And it's because I have named them all incorrectly. Absolute bums. Right. Let's try that again. Remember, we're looking down here to make sure these are changing. Absolute muppet. Right, let's change all of these. These should all be named. Should be named volume text. I think I could do this as a one if I do it. It's over here where I say these should all be called volume text. There we go. And of course I shouldn't have put the name in. That's just silly. I should have put the volume texts in. So that one will be volume text. That one will be volume text. That will be volume text. And that one will be volume text. Now. So you have synth 1 vol up, synth 1 vol down. So we have synth 1 vol up. So that should be calling through here. Let's just, check that it's doing what we expect it to do, because that's always a potential place of problem. We put it on down, that's fine. Well, that will be it. We forgot to change it to downs. And as they're already at max value, it will never go up because they're at max value. All right, go across. That's better, yeah, and they are dropping. Okay. Okay, so let's go lay down a quick drum beat. I'll mute these. We will go and fix those, them being in different positions in a second. Okay, so we've got some drums going. Set this randomness going. Oh, obviously need to go grab a new... Oh, I don't like that one. So that's synth 1 going now, or patch 1. Now let's just set all of them, just for now, to xylophone, to make sure this is working. So this is playing patch 1, and if we go into the mixer, we'll make them come down in steps so we can test them. Definitely set you, didn't I? We'll turn random off. Just say, please just play normal. Oh, I should add clear to set these all to defaults as well while we're here. Right, that seems to be broadly working. Okay, let's set patch 2 to something. The patches keys, no. Make this long as well while we're here. Okay, I don't think patch 2 really works what I'm wanting. I don't know what I expected from that one, honestly. interesting. Yeah, not quite sure that's what I want. I quite like the organ. Let's see if we can find something that goes with that. Well, that's a bass that has an arpeggiator already in it. It's interesting. Kind of like the organ, but I don't think for this. That piano is not as loud as I'd like. I quite like that as a lead. I kind of like how that sounds. Anyway, I am now just dropping into this position of just playing with this thing, because this is always my problem with developing this sort of stuff. I just sort of end up playing it. Playing with it. And we did a few things off my list. We've allowed the velocity to randomly be 0 in here, which is cool. We have added the ability to randomize sharp, which I think is cool. And we've added a mixer screen to it. Randomize the... Well, sorry, we've added a mixer screen so we can, fit it with this. However you like. Which is cool. I guess the only thing I might want to do before I wrap up today, now, because these are both in scale modes, this won't have any effect. These ones won't have any effect. Man, I really like how this is sounding. Because these only affect it when it's in the chord mode. These ones will. Because these affect what notes are allowed in the scale itself. That's what these ones. Which one were we in? Let's do another. Let's change the lead again. And now this will only affect the actual chord, like the chords being played by this top one. Although, now I'm a bit confused. When I'm playing chords, why is this only allowing... It should have, like... It should be playing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? It should be doing the inversion stuff, and I don't think it is. Maybe that's one of the things that's been confusing me. So yeah, it's probably that. Turn the randomness off. And also, if we just want them to always play, we can knock this down. So it should be. Right, so it should be. Let's just put it down to an easier to deal with C major chord. So we have that one, that one. Yeah, okay, so my randomization thing is doing something odd. In fact, all of my ARP things are doing something odd. Up range. Yeah, up. Generate up. What's up to val type? Yeah, so that could be like the different ones. Length, get up length. Oh, so I'm ARPing inside that chord that I'm currently set on. It's okay, but if I'm on chord, playing chords, I don't want that because that will just. So, yeah. If I'm in ARP mode here, playing ARPs, then yeah, it makes sense that I only want to play with inside. So in fact, we play now. Just go here. We only want to play notes within that chord. However, when I'm in chord mode, I want to play the different modes. So yeah, I want this to be a bit cleverer, I think. Values dots val type. Wait, so which ones do I have? I have val type. Yeah, I want play type as well. Here. So yeah, if we're in, so if the play type equals that dot ARP, we want to return that. Else, return dots. Well, I think we just want to return like the actual value. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we've necessarily got a word for, a thingy for anyway in here. So we can just say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and if we're playing in scale, that's fine. We just want to... No, because if it's scales... Basically, if we're in... Yeah, and then the last one's if we're in chromatic. I think it's basically if we're in... I assume this was all for when I was just doing ARPs, I think. Whereas if we're doing inversions, yeah, we want to do inversions. Right, okay. Now, that's probably broken everything everywhere. Yeah. Right, let's do this properly and regret doing this properly, as is my want. Generate that's interesting. I'll need to figure out why that wasn't working as well. Okay, but all of this stuff, this should be pretty easy. You just do .arp1 playtype. Playtype, arp1 playtype, arp1 playtype, arp1 playtype. These should just be arp2 playtypes across the board. That should be generating nicer things when we're doing chords. Hopefully. Yeah, so let's just... Oh, you're unhappy at a couple of places up here. Okay. That's the new code we've added today. Okay, cool. So now, hopefully... Let's mute this one. Oh, I still need to change that. And then if we do an up... So we're playing in ups, so that's playing in the chords. That should now work, right? It's just... So it should go. Okay, I think that's right. Because basically, from what I understand, we basically move up in the scale each time. But we're inverting, so we're looping back around. Yeah, okay, that seems better. Oh, was it when... Was it because this was supposed to be changing? Oh, now I'm unsure. Have I just done something dumb? That's always a possibility. It's never returning it, yeah. So the vowel type is chord. I think that's what I wanted. But yeah, who knows at this stage. Okay, let's stop all this and just check. Why is this not clearing this like it should do? I'll wrap up with a few final bug issues when I'm here. So we have the clicking. Where is it? It should be down here somewhere. Gates click generate. You turn it up on blank. Yeah, it's because I'm not doing this stuff. It should be if. Basically, I need this. I need this gubbins. If it's shift, we want to generate blank rhythm. We don't want them to work in the same way, so we're going to just fix these gently. Okay, so generate blank rhythm, then update all that. If we do control, we want to do generate blank velocities. That's fine. We can just do that here, so that should be fine. And then I guess we'll just duplicate this. Generate ARP 1 velocities blank, because I'll need that up there. I can do this code in here. Okay, and where I'm calling this up here, so generate ARP1 velocities blank as well. We'll just duplicate this down here, although we've not done this one yet. That should be that. Should be that, and we'll say generate blank velocities. Yep, and yep, okay. Right, cool. So that stopped that all shouting at me. That should all be fine. Then I just want to make sure I'm doing all of this. Generate ARP2 blank. Yeah, cool. Just make sure these are changed. While I'm here, let's fix something that's been annoying me the entire time we've been playing as well, which is on the ARP screen. ARP screen. Like, the fact that these are the opposite way around has been driving me a bit mad. Oh, that's still on. So that's 14 and 0 and 1. So you're now 1. You're now 0. These feel lower for some reason, so let's just fix those. Lovely. Right, let's see if that's fixed some of my vague annoyances. Right, so we can random, you, get you playing. Blank that, blank that. Okay, neither of those are quite working. So when we generate velocities blank, we generate because that's supposed to be arc2 velocities. And when I generate this one, velocities. Right, that should fix that problem. Now, that's because patch 2 I don't think can play polyphonically. Okay. Yeah, see, this does take into account the length of the chord we're playing as well. So basically, I'm now just going to end up playing with this a little bit. But yeah, we've done a bunch of stuff today. We've added a few more options. To stop all this running for now, because I kind of want to go set them back to... I really like patch 1. So let's see if we can just get that playing nicely again. I love lightly detuned stuff. Yeah, I really, really like how that sounds, honestly. Anyway, yeah, so with this playing me out, I'm going to call it an evening there. Really happy with what I managed to get done today. I think if I put this on slowly in the background, I might tomorrow spend a bit of time just making it so some of these things automatically change a little bit as it goes. Like add a timer in, like a key change and stuff. just to make it a bit more varied. But remember, this is just going to play really quietly in the background of a room to give it a bit of a bed. I think, honestly, this works really nicely for that. The only other thing I could do, I suppose, oh yes, that is something I could do. I could just put a reverb on everything for the giggles. Let's go and has that changed the correct one? It doesn't feel like it has. Oh, it probably has. I think I clicked the wrong one. It's a good sign. That's better. It's a good sign that I'm about... I'm nearly done. And we want this to... It's good and long. Oh, yeah, that's fine that way around. Yeah, let's put some of these back on. Let's slow these all down a little bit. Like restart all this, and now let's make our reverb sound nice. Edit in play mode. We need to go and set this to play focus so I can still hit all of this. Oh, I don't know why that's done stuff. Hang on. Yeah, well, you better believe I'm going to go play with reverb to add some reverb to this, just because why not? Especially when it's going to be playing in the background. Anyway, I will wrap up there. I've said that a few times already. Thanks very much for joining this very odd Sleepy Sunday stream, while I'm mainly just playing with this music toy I've been working on and off for a little bit. But yeah, as always, hope you have a good week, and I will see you around soon. Hopefully next time we're playing a game called Leaf's Odyssey, which I've been really looking forward to, which is a puzzle game where you play a ferret, so that'll be fun. But until then, take care.